Global governance or world governance is a movement towards political cooperation among transnational actors aimed at negotiating responses to problems that affect more than one state or region. Institutions of global governance are the United Nations, the International Criminal Court, the World Bank, etc. They tend to have limited power to enforce compliance. Global governance involves multiple states as well as international organizations, with one state having more of a lead role than the rest. The actors of global governance are: the first one is international institutions such as United Nations, the World Bank, and IMF. And the second one is non-state actors such as NGOs and MNC. And the last one is the states. Multinational corporations or MNCs is one of the major actors that are shaping a prosperous globalization. The MNCs, through the foreign direct investment or FDI, could bring about a lot of positive impact around the world. First, it brought about development in the new locations or branch or franchise that is opened around the world. This is a form of integrating a local economy into the global economy. The production taking place in host country and exported to another country is an example of such interconnectedness. There is presence of infrastructural development that helps less developed countries to be competitive in the global economy when an MNC moves into that country. So that's why MNC plays an important role in the global governance. According to the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, or WBCSD, the definition of CSR are continuing commitment by business to behave ethically and contribute to economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their family as well as of the local community and society at large. Social and environmental responsibilities are the company's obligations that are budgeted and calculated by the company costs. This provision aims to create a harmonious relationship between companies and the community, especially the people who living around the vicinity of the company. Therefore, the government and the society can utilize the company's CSR programs to improve the economy of the community. PT Chevron Pacific Indonesia or CPI is one of direct investments that operates in Riau, Indonesia, consisting 9 district operations covered regional of Rumbai, Minas, Petapahan, Bekasap, Kopar, Pinggir, Bangko or Tanah Putih or Rohil, Duri, and Dumai. PT CPI based from San Ramon, California, namely Chevron Corporation, engaged in the oil and gas industry. PT CPI had been operated in Indonesia for decades. Its roots in Indonesia accurately can be traced back to 1924, when the Standard Oil Company of California, or Chevron Pacific Indonesia now, dispatched a geological expedition to the island of Sumatra. The first crude oil reserve in the area was found in Duri Field in 1941. With billions of barrels of oil beneath its surface, Duri was the largest deposit in Southeast Asia until the discovery of the Minas Field in Southeast Asia in late 1944, making Indonesia the biggest crude producer in the region. PT CPI is a company which engaged in a field of earth oil and gas, starting from exploration, exploitation to production process. The Sumatra operation itself is based in Pekanbaru, Rumbai, as the center of its operations, following Minas and Duri as the exploration area and Dumai as the ore collection point. Based on the information I have provided above, the research question of this essay will be how Chevron maintains a good global governance through social responsibility in Pekanbaru. So, I will use corporate social responsibility or CSR as a primary concept of argument in this essay. CSR is a form of concerns by MNC for the surrounding society that consists of some aspects such as economy, law, and code of conduct. CSR is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and interactions with their stakeholders. CSR is generally understood as being the way through which a company achieves a balance of economic, environmental, and social imperatives, while at the same time addressing the expectations of shareholders and stakeholders. Based on Article 74, Paragraph 1 of Law Number 40 in 2007, the companies running their business activities in the natural resources and related to natural resources must carry out social and environmental responsibilities. Social and environmental responsibility is the company's commitment to participate in sustainable economic development, to improve the quality of life and the environment that is beneficial both for the company itself, the local community, and society in general. Chevron had been recorded to launch several programs such as clean water and sanitation program, combating HIV and AIDS through educating communities nearby, help Indonesia's government to establish the first state senior high school or SMAN 1 Pekanbaru, improving workforce skills by organizing training programs to communities, establishing the first polytechnic institution in Riau to train local students for jobs in the industrial sector, establishing the Dharma Siswa Chevron Riau scholarship program in 2001 to aid talented high school students in Pekanbaru to continue their college education, collaborating with universities to improve quality of education through University Partnership Program or UPP and University Relationship Program or URP, supporting Sakai people, it's an indigenous tribe in Riau, by educating and providing them an access to pursue higher level study and improve education quality and capacity building of Sakai students and other local business development. The company has a strategic role in encouraging the growth of the level of the community welfare. It was done by creating jobs and providing other assistance to the state and society through the company's social and environmental responsibilities. The law requires companies to implement it. Based on the interview with the public relations manager of PT Chevron Pacific Indonesia, it was explained that one of the CSR programs for the community that had been implemented by PT CPI was called Local Business Development, namely entrepreneurship training, providing fish seeds and fruit seeds, and small project work for community business group. Based on the results of the interviews with the public relations manager of PT Asia Forest Tamaraya, it was explained that one of the company's social responsibility programs for the community's economy had been running by PT Asia Forest Tamaraya, namely the provision of a piece of land owned by the company and raw materials of wood for traditional markets managed by the community. PT CPI also contribute to help Pekanbaru communities gain education and training in order to let them get to their full potential. They work with local government, non-governmental and youth organizations, and educational institutions. In 2011, with the help of a local organizer, they launched vocational training for employment and entrepreneurs, called VOTI, now known as Vocational Training for Entrepreneurship and Workforce Development, or VOTED. In the first year, they had more than 375 program beneficiaries, and the next year, more than 670 women and teenagers received training. CPI CSR program have been proved to work nicely among the society of Pekanbaru. Other than that, CPI also tend to promote the entrepreneurial sector by creating a program called Prisma to provide assistance in the form of technical support and offering loan funds through microfinance institutions for the community, including farmers and small medium enterprises. In 2013, a cooperative was established to better assist the Sakai farmers in managing their fish and duck farming and agriculture products, as well as product marketing and distribution. Chevron Pacific Indonesia have been doing their business for more than 90 years in Indonesia and already give much impact for the economic development, merely in Pekanbaru. CPI have proved to be the multinationals that have taken Indonesia's 2007 Law Number 40 Corporate Code of Conduct in a serious way that it really gives advantage for the economic development of Pekanbaru community. In the end, we can see that MNC as a non-state actor could play a specific role in order to raise the economic growth level and support the local business of its host country. Okay, I think that's all from me. I'm sorry if there is any mistakes I've made, and thank you. So long.
It happened so easy at the start.